Welcome everyone to my draft analysis for the Master Battle Circuit, otherwise known as the MBC. This is another Wi-Fi league ran by Indomitable Will, someone I've come to know as a good friend in the draft community recently, and I was invited to participate in this season of the MBC as a coach. As you all know, I'm also part of the BBRD league, so this league will be going up every Sunday, while BBR will be going up every Saturday. With that said, let's dive into our draft. So much like the BBR, MBC is functioning on a high-tier TERA system, meaning that strong Pokemon like Zarude and King Gambit are allowed to terrestrialize. Since there are a total of 24 other coaches in this league, we were divided into divisions of 12, which can lead to some pretty damn broken teams. Unfortunately for us this time, we were given the 10th seed out of 12, so no way were any particularly broken Pokemon were going to make it to me round 1. Or so I thought. Turns out, not throwing shade on anyone in particular, some people made some interesting picks as their first pick. So when the draft got to me, I saw that TERA Zarude had somehow not been taken yet, and knowing this, I knew this was an easy choice. So our first pick in the MBC is TERA Zarude. TERA Zarude is somewhat of a recent phenomenon in the draft community, as it wasn't seen initially as a broken Pokemon, but as people started seeing for what it's worth, it's become dominant, especially in the smaller draft scene. So what exactly makes Zarude so good? In my eyes, it is because it basically does everything. With TERA, you can use those defensive stats of it very well to facilitate sweeps with the combination of bulk up / Swords Dance and Trail Blaze, being immune to stats conditions of jungle healing, and just in general, Dark Spam is very dominant in the Gen 9 metagame. I don't know personally how well I'll be able to use Zarude given my background in using Pokemon defensively, but nonetheless I am excited to try out for the first time. Moving on to our second pick, I decided to pick up Gholdengo. Gold is a Pokemon that I've used many times, and I like to use it so much because it blocks both defog and spin blocks to keep the hazards you set up on the field for as long as Gold is alive. I thought this strat paired well with Zarude in particular, as getting up hazards chip makes Zarude endgame sweep much easier. Drafting Gold also gave me a good Steel type, something I find myself struggling with in draft when I don't take a Steel type early. I knew that to pair with Gold, I'll need to make some good removal to not get hazard stack back. And that's why our third pick for the MBC is Psychozar. Admittedly, I probably took Psychozar a bit too early, but I wanted to secure it as my spinner. Psychozar also gave this team the 120 speed tier, which I find to be important in draft. This paired with its ability Regenerator make it extremely difficult to remove from the field and be able to come in multiple times to remove hazards and U-turn out. I've also seen some people use Psychozar offensively, and while I cannot make any promises, I recognize them as possibilities. For our fourth pick, I knew I was trying to focus on getting hazards, and what better hazard partner is there for Gholdengo than Gliscor? Gold Gliscor is a classic combo that pairs well with each other, as Gliscor gets every damaging hazard in the game and can U-turn out into Gholdengo to block removal. Gliscor is also very difficult to remove from play due to the ability Poison Heal, making it also a great stat absorber and knockoff absorber. Our next pick was actually Sylveon, but I actually made some transactions post-week on schedule release, so I'll go over our draft post-transactions instead. So instead of Sylveon, we actually have Clefable starting week 2. I knew I wanted to get a bulky fairy type, and Clef gave me that and so much more. In addition to being a fat fuck, Clef gets rocks to alleviate rock duty from Gliscor, 2 amazing abilities in Magic Guard and Wear, and the ability to go on the offensive with CM and Life Orb. Something I knew the team was still shaky in was speed, as I knew Psychozar was most likely not going to slot well in every single matchup. So with that said, I decided to pick up Iron Bundle next. How Iron Bundle made it this far in the draft, I had no idea, but Bundle gave me an even faster Pokemon than Psychozar and a speedy special attacker that pairs well with Zarude. Although relying on Hydro Pump isn't exactly ideal, it still makes Bundle a menace in the team builder for my opponents and to switch into. Our next pick, I knew I wanted to prioritize grabbing a Ground Poison. I also believe that a Ground Poison is necessary to stop T-Spike from being a pain, so for my next pick I grabbed Galarian Slowbro. I like Slowbro because it paired well with my Psychozar to perform a mini Region Core, and it can also take many hits while not being a complete sane duck with its amazing coverage and sit up with CM and Nasty Plot. In this league, you actually have to draft a second TERA Cap to pair with your first one, so I wanted to pick my second TERA Cap as my next pick. After scouring the low tiers that I could afford, I decided to sell on TERA Altaria once again. Now I know I drafted TERA many times before, and extremely valuable in low tier in my opinion because of its move pool and ability. Being able to defog without worry about getting status because the ability Natural Cure is a huge boon. Not to mention its other moves like Will-O-Wisp to shut down physical attackers, and Fire Spin plus Parasol to trap opposing Pokemon. My next pick here was actually Spidoffs, but due to transactions, I traded for TERA MINUN. I knew I wanted to have another flying resist on team, and MINUN gave me that with the points I had left. It's not a Pokemon I'll see a ton of use, it's just mostly there to vibe. Moving on to our last pick, I originally had both Lantern and Dugtrio, who I traded away for Serena. Although I already had a Grass type in Zarude, I wanted Serena because I didn't really trust Stigazar as my sole removal, as both quite fail and matchup fishy. So I wanted a more reliable spinner in Serena. Serena also gave me another momentum bot that can help get my sweepers like Zarude or breakers like Iron Bundle in play. So this is our draft for the MBC. Most of these Pokemon I've used a lot in the past, but I am mostly excited to try out TERA Zarude for the first time. So I'm very excited for this upcoming season. This season also has many incredible players like A12 and Gunk, who I've fought many times in the past, so the battles will be for sure entertaining and I can't wait to show you guys. With that said, check out all the coaches down below and I'll see you guys for week 1 start next week, and be sure to subscribe and leave a like down below.